What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Former 4th Division World Champion Adrien "The Problem" Broner makes his much anticipated return to the ring when he takes on rough, rugged Ivan Redkach. The fight will take place on Showtime and it will take place either February 6th, which will be Super Bowl weekend, or February 13th, which will be NBA All-Star weekend. In my opinion, the best date will be February 6th. There's not going to be nothing going on that day. That Saturday before the Super Bowl, there won't be any other big-time sporting events going up against Adrien Broner fight if it goes down on February 6th. Now, if he fights on February 13th, he's going to be going against the NBA All-Star game. The game is on a Sunday, but you know they have the three-point shooting contest, the slam dunk contest, that takes place that Saturday. So we'll be going head up with a potential Adrien Broner versus Ivan Redkach fight if they choose that date instead of the February 6th date. But he will be coming back in the month of February. That month will mark 2 years since Adrien Broner last fought. Last seen in the ring versus Manny Pacquiao, where he lost a unanimous decision to the Filipino icon. And a fight they had much more action in the press conference than they had in the ring, as Adrien Broner did what he has done in a lot of fights. Did not let his hands go. Wasn't nearly as active as he should have been, and lost a very wide unanimous decision. Now, it's been 4 years since he's had a victory. He beat Adrian Granados in February of 2017. So when he turns to the ring for February of 2021 to take on Ivan Redkach, it'll be 4 years since he's last won a boxing match. So that's got to be a big win for Adrien Broner. He's going to have to get this win. You know, you heard the old saying, must win. This is definitely a must win. And he's going against a rough and rugged guy for a tune-up fight. You know, they're going to say this fight is a fight that's going to lead to other big fights for Adrien Broner. So it's going to be called a quote-unquote tune-up fight. But this guy, Ivan Redkach, who every time he stepped up previous to the Devin Alexander fight, he lost. He fought Tevin Farmer. He lost. He fought John Molina Jr. He lost that fight. He fought a couple other guys, but up under the tutelage of trainer and Hall of Famer Sugar Shane Mosley, he was able to pull the upset over Devin Alexander. Knocked him out, which surprised a lot of people because Devin Alexander had never been knocked out before that fight. But that just let you know that a lot of people, and me, myself included, thought that just was a signal that that Devin Alexander needed to retire. That he had was not the same fight he was when he was a champion at junior welterweight. You know, he wasn't the same guy that knocked out and stopped Juan Urango. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the same guy that even lost to Timothy Bradley and later on lost to Amir Khan. He wasn't the same guy. He didn't have the skills that he had when he was at his best. And Ivan Redkach adjourned me up to that point, took advantage of the situation and stopped Devin Alexander. But what I didn't understand, after he got that big win, in his next big fight, he took on Danny Garcia. He didn't have Sugar Shane Mosley in his corner, which made no sense to me. He ended up losing, and I don't believe that Sugar Shane Mosley would have helped him beat Danny Garcia. But still, you know, you got the Hall of Famer in your corner, and you get your biggest win of your career, and then the next fight, you don't have him in your corner. Didn't make any sense to me. But he gets another opportunity to try to slay the dragon, try to pull an upset, to try to get the second big win of his career. And basically, if he's able to do that, that'll be a bigger win than the win over a faded and washed, now I ain't going to say, but a faded and shop-worn Devin Alexander. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But the co-main event is going to be very interesting also. You're going to have Otto Wallen, the guy that opened up a big cut over Tyson Fury in a fight that many people thought should have been stopped. But we all know why it wasn't stopped. That fight was would have hindered a big showdown between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the rematch. So that fight was able to continue, and Tyson Fury was able to win a wide unanimous decision victory over Otto Wallen. But Otto Wallen opened up a big cut, and it wasn't from a headbutt. It was from I believe it was a right hand that opened up that gas, and he hurt Tyson Fury also in that 12th round, had Tyson Fury in bad shape in that 12th round. So he put on a tremendous performance, but we'll see if that's just his one shining moment, as they used to sing that song at March Madness in the final championship game. Was that his one shining moment, or will he be able to capitalize on that and say, look, I am a player in the heavyweight division. I'm going to beat a guy like Dominique Breazeale, who has only lost to the elite of the heavyweight division, that being Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. So it'll be a good test for Arthur Walton to see where he is. Is he's at that second tier right below the big three, like I call them, the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Anthony Joshua? Is he in that second tier that be considered along with the Dillian Whites of the world, Luis Ortiz of the world, the guy Andy Ruiz of the world, that second tier? Will he belong in that second tier? I don't believe he does, but if he gets a win over Dominic Breazeale in dominating fashion, you can start to try to mention him up there with those guys in that second tier. So we have to see what happens, and we'll see what transpires. But that'll be the co-main event. So Showtime is looking to have a real strong card in February. It's just a matter of what date they're going to have it on. They're trying to make a decision between February 6th and February 13th. Like I said, in my opinion, the best date will be Super Bowl weekend, because they won't be going against any sporting event on that date. Probably, maybe, February probably going against a few college basketball games, but college basketball is not a sport that has a lot of people attention until March Madness starts. So I think February 6th will be the best date. But, depending on the venue, you got to try to figure all that out. If it works for the venue that they're going to be fighting in, and they just have to iron out the details on what date they want to fight on. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But that's the news, breaking news in boxing. Adrien the Problem Broner makes his much anticipated return versus Ivan Redkach, looking to get his first win in 4 years since he defeated Adrien Granados in a razor-thin decision in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. Let me know your thoughts. I think Adrien the Problem Broner, you've seen him in the workout videos. He seems to be more motivated, more focused now. He's had his trouble in the past with getting in trouble with the law, doing time behind bars, but he seems to be focused right now. And if he gets focused and let his hands go, he should have no problem beating Ivan Redkach. But if he comes in this fight not willing to let his hands go, he can give Ivan Redkach a chance to outwork him, be the busier fighter, be the more aggressive fighter, and pull off an upset over the Problem Broner. So we'll see what happens, and we will see what transpires. I like Adrien Broner to win this fight. I think he'll start implementing the jab. I think he's actually, even though he's coming up from he's been fighting in he came up, he started at 130, 135, then he moved up to 147. He's been, he's a guy that came up from the smaller weight classes. I believe Ivan Redkach started off at, both of these guys start off in lower weight classes. So both of these guys are smaller guys that have moved up. Now, I don't know what weight they're going to be fighting in. I know Broner said he's going to come back and fight at 140, so I assume it'll be at 140 or maybe 147. But Ivan Redkach, his last, 3 or 4 fights has been at 147, or maybe they do a catch weight. That remains to be seen. But it's a fight that Adrien Broner definitely can win if he let his hands go, implement the jab, basically use the right hand, jab to the body, and basically throw his combination, man, because he has the faster hand, and he actually is the more powerful puncher. He's a very sharp, accurate puncher. You ask Marcos Maidana how much power that Adrien Broner has. He's telling you that Adrien Broner has more power than Floyd Mayweather. So he's a very underrated puncher. So he's already able to basically have enough punching power, enough power to make Ivan Redkach have second thoughts about trying to rush in and try to get inside and make it a rough, rugged fight, and basically try to walk down Adrien Broner. I think he has enough power to discipline him in that fight and make him hesitant. And that would play right into Adrien Broner's hands, because he's a much better fighter from a distance. He'll be able to let his faster hands go and basically beat up and maybe stop Ivan Redkach in the second half of that fight. Let me know your thoughts about this matchup. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.